5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the toy box is go.
Thank you for joining the Thunderbirds on an excellent episode of In the Toy Box.
Be a part of international rescue, like us.
Now buckle up and get ready for the show.
FAB.
Hello out there and welcome to another fun-filled episode of In the Toy Box. I am your co-host Kevin with our other co-host Matt.
Hi, how's it going?
Matt, what are we talking about today?
Today our show is based on a series called Thunderbirds. Now this series was out in the 1960s.
Right.
Created by Gerry and Sylvia Anderson, a husband and wife team. And they put together many shows based on puppets, using puppets.
Right. I think I've seen a couple, right?
Which they called...
Oh, well...
Super
Marionation.
Marionation.
And they had, what, Joe 90. I'm trying to think, the Mysterions one.
Yep.
But Thunderbirds was like the one.
That's true. Thunderbirds was about a rescue team. And the idea actually for Thunderbirds came from a German mining disaster in 1963.
Really?
Yep. So it was nice that this show is about, like I said, a rescue team. The leader of the rescue team is Jeff Tracy.
Okay, yep.
And his background is that he was an astronaut. And his rescue team is basically his 5 sons and a London agent, Lady Penelope,
right,
and her assistant Parker.
Okay.
And then there's also Brains, the technical advisor. And the whole show is concentrating on
rescue missions.
A rescue company called International Rescue.
Right.
And the other character, which we have a toy of right to our right over here,
the villain,
is the villain, the Hood, who appears from time to time. He's not a regular on the show,
right,
but he's like maybe every 3rd or 4th episode where he comes in and tries to wreak havoc.
Yeah, I was trying to just screw with the Tracys.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Why? He's just a bad guy.
I don't know. So anyway, the show was out in the 60s, but these toys are from 30 years later in the 90s.
Right. And so you have Matchbox. They did some small figures that you'll see in front of you.
Yep.
Like 3-inch, right?
Yep.
And then they also did these, which I think are like 8 or 9-inch.
Right.
And at the same time, there's another company called Vivid Imaginations / Carlton.
Yep.
And they were doing similar. Like they had the bigger ones that are right there, like the Hood.
Yep. They did 12-inch figures that would actually talk.
12-inch. Okay.
Yes.
And they actually talked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And they also did vehicle lines. Matchbox, known for vehicles, they did a vehicle line.
Right.
And so didn't Carlton as well?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yep.
And they have different sizes. This might be a Carlton right in front of us, I believe.
It is. That is
right.
a Carlton. Yeah. It's got all the different ships, the different pods for Thunderbird 2.
Yeah. So what are the different ships?
The different ships, we have Thunderbird 1, which is piloted by Scott Tracy, one of the sons. And then we have Thunderbird 2, which is Virgil Tracy.
This
and he carries the pods, whatever pod is needed for the assignment.
Sure.
Then we have Thunderbird 3, which is Alan Tracy, which is the only craft that can reach the space station, which is Thunderbird 5.
Yeah.
Yes, which is behind us.
Okay.
And then Thunderbird 4 goes in Thunderbird 2, and Thunderbird 4 is mainly for underwater operations.
Right.
And then we have Thunderbird 5, which is John Tracy, and he is responsible for getting all the communications and distress signals from whatever emergency is happening, relays that information to Jeff Tracy, the father,
right,
who then dispatches whatever vehicles, emergency vehicles are needed for the mission.
Right.
And so it's a great show. The toys are wonderful. They came out with, in 2015, another show called Thunderbirds Are Go.
Right, it's more animated.
More animated,
right,
but the ships are actually models, and it looks incredible. And I want to say about that show is, and we also have toys for that show as well, that show I think is probably even better than the 60s. I love the 60s one. It's an excellent show, but this one's probably better because it's shorter. It's 20 to 25 minutes as opposed to 40 to 45 minutes.
Sure.
Which I think that's all you really need to really have, you know,
absolutely,
really say like a story.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, the Great Adventures.
Yeah, the Great Adventures. Thunderbirds Are Go. Matchbox versus Takara and Vivid Toys. Toys based on the 1966 series were made in 1994 by Matchbox, which include 3-inch figures of Jeff Tracy, Scott Tracy, Virgil Tracy, Alan Tracy, Gordon Tracy, John Tracy, Brains, and the Hood, as well as Parker and Lady Penelope. There was also a Thunderbird 2 with Thunderbird 4 playset. Virgil and Gordon figures fit into the cockpit of Thunderbird 2. Comparatively, the 2015 series had toys that were released by Takara in 2016. These included 3.5-inch figures of Scott Tracy, Virgil Tracy, Alan Tracy, Gordon Tracy, John Tracy, Brains and Max, and the Hood. These figures came complete with many accessories. Matchbox released a rescue pack which included 5 die-cast vehicles from the 1966 series. These vehicles were 1/64 scale. Vivid Toys released electronic ships based on the 2015 series. These were plastic vehicles, highly detailed and very accurate to resemble the ships from the show. Both Matchbox and Vivid Toys released their version of Tracy Island for their line of toys. Thunderbirds Toys Are Go.
I hope we're not too late, Father.
In the early 90s, Matchbox launched a line of 10-inch Thunderbird figures. These characters included Alan, Gordon, Scott, and Virgil Tracy. Each figure came loaded in a special color-coded window box that displays the name of our international rescue hero and also pictures their corresponding ship. Wearing a cloth costume and fabric sash with holster, these mid-sized men on a mission come equipped with standard issue stun ray and 2 cartridges. The Matchbox body includes 6 points of articulation, including the neck, waist, both shoulders, and wrists. In 2000, Vivid Imaginations put out a line of larger 12-inch Thunderbird figures. This line featured Alan, Scott, and Virgil Tracy, along with Brains, and our evil villain, the Hood. The window box packaging is embellished with a picture of the actual puppet from the series on the front and a picture of the piloted ship on the side. The back also includes a brief backstory of our figure. Vivid also includes a cloth costume, but the Tracys now have a shiny vinyl sash. The articulation includes arms, legs, and rotating neck. A push-button front allows for 5 fun phrases each.
Thunderbird 1 to base. Stand by, Virgil.
The Hood's eyes even light up, much like they do in the first episode.
International rescue will be destroyed.
Each talking toy includes multiple accessories like goggles, a scuba tank, walkie-talkies, binoculars, or even a robot. The Matchbox and Vivid Imaginations line of large figures makes for an equally large amount of fun for the Thunderbird fan of any age.
control to Thunderbird 2.
We'll need Part 4, Gordon.
FAB, Virgil.
Stand by for blastoff. Thunderbird 3 to base. We're on our way.
The human-like puppets used in the Thunderbirds are called marionettes. A marionette consists of a jointed body puppet and a hand control. The control has several points on it that hold strings that connect to different points of the puppet's body. Manipulation of these strings will move the corresponding body part. Some marionettes have another control bar that separates from the main control to make certain actions easier. With practice, you can master the art of walking, sitting and standing, waving, dancing, or almost any movement you can think of. The Thunderbirds patented a term called supermarionation. This technique of puppetry included a radio-controlled moving mouth. Supermarionation, along with beautiful sets and props, superior puppet control, and the inclusion of human elements, made the show easy to believe it was live action. These mind-blowing marionettes in motion are the foundation for futuristic fun in the Thunderbirds. We're back and we're talking about Tracy Island. Tracy Island is where the Tracys basically reside, I would assume, right?
It's their home base where International Rescue is located.
Okay.
And that's not only where they live, but also where most of the ships and the rescue equipment is housed. It's supposed to be at an undisclosed location.
So we don't really know where it is.
No.
But we know this is basically where Jeff Tracy does all his, he's the father, and he's the one who's basically like, here's your mission, and he's in this location, in this manor, if you will, in the mountains.
Exactly.
And as you can see from both of these, it's a pretty luxurious place, it looks like.
It is. It's very nice. The one in front of me was made by Matchbox in the 90s, and as you can see, it's very nice, but a lot simpler than the one that was made for the 2015 series. So on the Matchbox one, for Thunderbird 1, we were playing with it before, you move the stairs and you move the swimming pool, and Thunderbird 1 gets blasted off from here.
Right, and that's how it is in the show, right?
It is. That is how it is.
Comes right out of the pool. Pool moves aside. So the little diving board gets rid of it. That's really neat.
Yeah, and then Thunderbird 3 also comes out through here.
Yep.
And then these doors open, and we already have Thunderbird 2 out there.
Yep, Thunderbird 2 can get lifted up for takeoff.
Very good.
Definitely, very neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on this one, it's like, I'm sure you'll see later in the show, there's basically a backside to this. It houses all the vehicles. It's a lot more to it.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, you can set these things off, basically. Like, there's little buttons that elevate the ships right out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll hit one for the sake of it, just so you can see. But it's pretty noisy. Let's see. Oh,
Sounds like a roller coaster.
hold on here. Here we go.
Here it comes. Yeah.
Nice and loud. But as you see,
Let me see. Is it gonna clear it? Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
same idea.
Yeah.
Right out. That's the swimming pool in this one. Oh my
Yeah.
God, this thing's loud.
Yeah. Just that the ships on that version are a lot larger. Yeah, and it speaks French too.
Yeah,
This one.
this one's from France.
I got a discount. But that one, it took me, the way that these molded pieces are, it took me, I want to say, a couple of hours to assemble that piece.
Yeah, it's massive.
But it's really, it's, I mean, that piece alone is like the defining piece for this episode.
Oh yeah.
If we didn't have Tracy Island, to me, we wouldn't have a Thunderbirds.
This has a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's important to see, like, I'm pretty sure they designed this whole thing to be hidden in the mountains too.
Yep.
So if anyone were to go by, I mean, the swimming pool is a little bit of a giveaway,
Yep.
but at a glance, you know, everything's in the rocks.
Yeah.
You know, and in both this one too, it's like kind of like the colors are almost the same as the environment around it.
Right.
So it definitely is like pretty hidden.
Yeah,
You know, it's really neat.
yeah. They're living it up there on Tracy Island.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
Five, four, three, two, one. Five, four, three, two, one. Five, four, three, two, one.
Parker, tell them our story.
Yes, my lady. My name is Aloysius Nosy Parker. You could just call me Parker. I wasn't always a butler and chauffeur to Lady Penelope, nor was I always a part of international rescue. I dabbled in the, shall we say, the art of unlawful removal of possessions. Safe cracking is my specialty. I would use a stethoscope, a hairpin, and an assortment of tools. I always get the job done. Fate stepped in, however, and Lady Penelope, a London agent, employed me seemingly as her butler and chauffeur, but secretly as her assistant, using my special skills to work with Lady Penelope on secret missions. This is my lady. Her full name is Penelope Creighton Ward. Here I am driving her in the Rolls-Royce known as FAB-1. This car is fitted with smoke bombs in the rear and a missile which is revealed when the front grille folds down. We often work together, aiding international rescue.
Parker, get the Rolls Royce. Jeff Tracy called. We have a new mission.
Yes, my lady. Right away, my lady.
Mr. Tracy, detonation in 4 seconds. Virgil, you'll need extra fuel. Don't fly too low, Scott. Mobile control to Thunderbird 2.
Thunderbird 2 to base. ETA 5 minutes.
FAB. Every second counts.
The TV series Thunderbirds Are Go was produced by Gerry and Sylvia Anderson, who also produced another TV series called Space 1999. The ships they used for transportation were called Eagles. Mattel produced a 31-inch Eagle playset. This playset features a cockpit with a canopy that opens, new decals, 2 cardboard sceneries for the front and the rear of the ship, landing pads, side doors, which reveal the inner body of Eagle 1, chairs, crane, a hatch, and thrusters. The nose and rear engines may be removed and then reattached to each other to form a shuttle version of the ship. Recently, I acquired an Eagle One. Here I am assembling Eagle One. I remember having this toy as a child. Now, I find this toy more awesome than ever. Thank you for joining us on this special episode of Thunderbirds Are Go.
If you liked this episode, don't forget to check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/toyshownow. We're also on Instagram, same name, @toyshownow. Give us a like, a follow, and check out other episodes.
Be a part of international rescue, like us.
Is it recording?
Okay.
We'll get back in frame. I can see it on this thing. I'll let it.
Opening take 2.
Puppet style. I think I need to move a little more. Yeah, like that. That looks good.
Okay, and 5, 4.
Thank you for joining the Thunderbirds on a... Nope, hold on. Just keep going. Thank you for joining the Thunderbirds. All right, hold on. It's okay. And in 5, 4. Thank you for joining the Thunderbirds on an excellent episode of In the Toy Box.
This was a fascinating episode, don't you think?
No, we're doing the intro again.
Oh, it's the
The intro again.
Oh,
We're doing the intro again. It's okay. It's okay. We can.